Today on Big House Ball, we are here at Sydney Harbour, the home of the Premiers, the Sydney Roosters. It's NRL season, baby. It is NRL season, and guess what? We've got our previews for 2020. I'm keen to get amongst it. We're going to smash it NRL this year. And if you don't like where I'm putting teams, well, guess what? The comment section is where you go, wow, it's a revelation. So sit down and get ready, because we're going to be going through all 16 NRL teams and previewing their 2020 season. St. George Illawarra Dragons. As soon as I heard that Phil Gould has been brought in to help out around the joint, I thought, well, you know what? Well, shit. Here comes another 40-year damn well plan. We all know how it worked out at Penrith, and although I'm not going to stand here and say that Phil Gould isn't incredibly knowledgeable about the game, I guarantee he understands his business aspects well enough. However, you can only base it really off of what's happened at Penrith, and yeah, shit. However, I will say that a 40-year plan, or just a plan in general, is something the Dragons do need. Look, they've got a solid forward line, but that back line is just... it has issues. It has issues. And when you've got a coach like Paul McGregor, who is Paul McGregor, you know, it doesn't look exactly fantastic for the Dragons this year. I just can't justify putting them higher up the ladder this year. Unfortunately for the Dragons, I'm going to put them in 12th place. It's going to be a difficult season for Dragons fans. You know, there is a lot of them. They are very passionate. They have a prolific history. But unfortunately, I just think that Paul McGregor needs to get out of there, son. Go. See you later. I'm not looking back. I'm not looking back. I know you're here to see the annual Storm are done. The Storm are done. They're done, son. The Storm are done. The Storm. They're old, mate. They're old news. And you're damn well right. However, you're also damn well wrong. And don't forget it. Because when I say you're damn well right, it's the fact that everyone's going to be continuously saying those things. It happens every single year. Everyone always tips the Storm to regress. However, I don't think people understand this is a Craig Bellamy run team. This isn't necessarily the individual players that are so consistent in what they do on an individual basis. This is what Craig Bellamy brings out of them. And until Craig Bellamy retires or moves on, I'm sorry, but the Storm are not going to regress. As per usual, this team is frustrating as shit. Why? Because they're so quality. Why? Because they're always top four, and guess what? They're going to be top four again. I'm going to check them in third position, but I feel like that top four this year really could interchange quite easily. I feel like the top four teams are quite separate from the rest, so I feel like those top four teams can be interchangeable, but I'm going to go with third for the Melbourne Storm. This is an interesting one. This is a really difficult one to pick, because a lot of people are tipping them to really drop off this year and not to be as quality as they were last year. Obviously, they made the grand final and they were a really quality team, and if you look at that team on paper, they actually got a fantastic team. However, it's really difficult to pick where this team's going to come, because they lost Aiden Caesar. Now, I'm not saying that Aiden Caesar is the best half in the game, but he's a quality half, and he really locks down his job quite well. And they brought in George Williams from England. You all know how the English imports go over here, especially when they're a playmaker, especially when they're such a key playmaker in the halves. And that's where I get confused with the Raiders. They can come anywhere from top four to mid-range bottom eight. I'm serious. You just don't know what you're going to get with this new half. You just don't know how this team is going to go, and we all know what Ricky Stewart's like. Got to put him in 6th position, but I'm just very tentative in saying that. I think they do have enough quality on paper to get him into that top 6. I can't see them being top 4 with the teams that are currently vying for those positions. However, top 6 I can definitely see, but like I said, they could drop off more. They could drop off further. Like I said, quality team, really like this team. However, it's just about adding an English import into such a key position in the halves. Bulldogs, obviously they finished off well last year, but they also started off absolutely horrifically. Yeah, that's the Bulldogs for you. A lot of positive optimism around this team right now. Look, I'm going to throw them in 13th. I'll throw them in 13th. I feel like the points will be a struggle. I just don't really like the attacking setup of the Bulldogs, but I never really do. There's just no oomph. There's no oomph. There's no oomph. Where's the oomph? Where's the oomph? There's no oomph. There's no wolf here. And although they did finish off the season strong, you've got to remember that they did that when they had nothing to play for. They really had nothing to play for. They had no expectations. They were able to throw the ball around and not be so structured. And if they go in with that mindset into this year, they could improve on 13th. However, I just feel like it's going to be a bit of a struggle to start off with, as per usual, and I feel like they're going to be chasing home strong, which is going to give a positive outlook on the season like it did last year, but you've also got to realise how horrific their start was, and I feel like the Dogs are really going to struggle to get underway again. That 5-year plan, oh yeah, that's coming along strong, isn't it? Well, no, I can't see it because Maloney's gone. Now, James Maloney was a key integral part to the Panthers, and I can't necessarily see them doing too well when he's gone. Like, I'm genuinely interested to see what the winning percentage is of this team when Maloney wasn't there in the previous seasons. They've got players there that can go on and can compete. However, I just think it really relies on Cleary too much. I really feel like this team focuses on one player way too heavily, and if he has a couple of bad games or he has an injury, I feel like this team could really derail. Now, I could see this team coming anywhere from 6th to 12th. I'm going to chuck them in 10th. I feel like they'll just miss the 8, but I could see them anywhere from 6th to 12th. Honestly, like I said, I just think they rely way too heavily on one player doing well. Everyone else kind of complements Cleary. Maybe he has a couple of bad games and the whole team collapses around him. Here we go. Come here, Broncos fans. What a way to bow out in 2019, Broncos. Or 2018 as well. What a way to bow out in 2019. I feel honoured. I feel honoured to have been a part of that credit bank quest. They've got a huge forward pack. It's unbelievable. Their forward pack is unreal. However, their back line is very inconsistent and a bit out of your going, to be honest, because you look at Boyd, you look at Milford, you look at Asako, there's just there's no consistency there. You know, they can all be quality players on their day, but when is their day exactly? I'm going to throw them in the 8. I'll put them in 8th position. I feel like they could just miss the 8, but we all know the Broncos always find a way to get there. Whether they get flogged in the first round of finals, that's another question, but they still usually make the finals. So I'm going to chuck them in 8th position. But how long they last in the finals is up for debate. That's really seriously up for debate. Sharkies, eh? Ooh, the old Sharkies, eh? How do I read this team? This is a confusing team to read. And I like the Sharkies, you guys all know that. They put out a pretty decent strength. No, I'm not even going to say pretty decent. I'm going to say a very heavy strength team into the 9s, and they capitulated. They were terrible. People were tipping them to actually win the comp. They got flogged. Let's go there, especially when you're going to play like Shaun Johnson, who is meant to be a very open-minded kind of attacking fluidity player, and nothing happened there. Now, I actually read into the 9s a lot more than other people do. I know there is a lot more space on the field. However, when you're putting out a strong team and you've got that extra space, you're looking at the attacking movements, and the attacking movements just weren't there for the Sharks. There's a lot of drop balls. They're known for a lot of drop balls in their forwards. There was just nothing really happening there in the attack. And that's what makes me worried about the Sharkies this year. They simply love losing games in new ways. They create new ways. They're very innovative in their creativity to lose games. They're going to be playing at Cogra this season, so will the fans turn up as much as they usually do to Shark Park? I'm unsure about that. I know it's literally like a 5-10 minute drive from Cronulla. However, it's still a 5-10 minute drive from Cronulla. So when you're struggling to get crowds in the NRL as it is, I just don't know if they're going to make that trip. And then you've got the inconsistency of Shaun Johnson in the halves, key half. We've also got Matty Moylan, who's just Matty Moylan. It's going to be a difficult season in my opinion. They do have a roster that can compete, but then again, if you look at every single team, they have a roster that technically can compete. Throw them in 12th place. Yep, I know that people are going to probably dislike me for that. Like I said, they could definitely prove me wrong. They could be fighting for that top 8 spot. However, I see a difficult season coming up for the Sharkies. Look, this is a difficult one, and the reason why is because about a year ago or a year and a half ago, this team was progressing quite well. The Knights were progressing quite well, and I wasn't expecting to kind of give somewhat of a negative review on the team, because I felt like they were definitely progressing well, and they were going to be, you know, a little bit of a scary, sneaky underdog team that could sneak into the 8, and actually they could be like that. I have put them in 9th. I'm going to get that out of there right away. I have got them being around there, but they just haven't progressed as much as I'd imagined. Yeah, it's a little bit of a disappointment. Obviously, they've improved giantly, like tenfold since their bloody wooden spoon days, but they just haven't progressed as much as I'd imagined. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt this year. I'm giving the Knights the benefit of the doubt. They're not going to make the top 8 in my opinion, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt to still be competing in those places. They'll have that spark needed at times, but I don't necessarily believe they'll have the spark to actually seriously contend. Yeah, the West Tigers. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. And what is it? What is it? Exactly. Looking at this team list, there's just simply nothing that jumps out. And, you know, Benji Marshall's there, but Benji Marshall's not a spring chicken. He's no spring chicken. So it's not like you can say that he's going to be absolutely tearing up and carving up like we all know him to be. He's a great player, but he's not as fast and elusive as he once was, obviously. I just don't see anything really eventuating for this team. However, the Tigers do always seem to kind of exceed expectations. I've got them in 14th. A lot of people are actually tipping them for the spoon this year. A lot of people are tipping them for that last 2 spots. And although I've still got them around those last 2 spots in 14, I don't really think they're going to be pushing for that 8th. Then again, they love the 9th spot. 9th is their spot. So whoever I've got, who's the 9th? The Knights are in their spot. Oh, the Tigers aren't going to be happy with you, Newcastle. I'm very confident in this prediction. I'm very confident in this prediction, and I'm very sorry, New Zealand fans, because it's not a great outlook. It really isn't a great outlook for you guys right now. They've got such an incredible, phenomenal player in Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. He's one of the best in the game. He's one of the best fullbacks in the game. If not for James Tedesco, he'd probably be the best fullback in the game. But outside Tuivasa-Sheck, this team list is just incredibly average. It's not exciting for me, and I really struggle to see them putting together a consistent amount of games to even compete for that fighting top 8 spot, or even just relatively around there. I really struggle to see this team doing anything. Their 9s was a travesty when they were expected to do reasonably well. Their pre-season was a travesty. What positives are we seeing here? There's no positives that we're seeing here. There's been no real improvement of late. You got Blake Green, Cody Nikorima, Wade Egan, and that's their spine outside of Tuivasa-Sheck. That doesn't really scare you. It doesn't really pop out at you and just say, you know what, we're coming for you. It just doesn't. I've got them in last place. I'm sorry, Warriors. I'm giving you the spoon. Well, I genuinely don't want to give the Warriors a spoon, but there's just nothing that is there to tell me I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, I still don't feel like I'm going to be too far off. No matter what I say here, like literally, no matter what I say here, I'm going to get roasted in the comments. So do your best to comment section. It's a really tough life on the Gold Coast when it comes to sport. However, look, the Titans, they did show attacking fluidity in the 9s. They did show some signs that the team is in the right direction. The pre-season was a little bit of a bust, but overall, I feel like this team has a lot of potential, and I hate that word. It's the worst word in history. Potential is genuinely, dead set, one of the worst words in history, because it really doesn't mean anything. It means that, you could be good. Whether you're going to be good or not, we don't know. They all possess the ability. They all possess the ability, but it never gels. It just never gels. However, with a fresh system, under a new coach, and with absolutely zero expectations about this upcoming season, because all you bandwagoners are on that damn well spoon call again. Woo-hoo, we're on the up, baby. We're on the up. We're putting them in all over the place. Yeah, you want some? Get it up, you son. We're on the up. Yeah, you want some? Well, guess what? Come on the comment section. We're ready for you. Beautiful. 58-0 win over the Broncos to knock them out of the finals. So much positivity to a 32-0 loss the next week to get knocked out by the Melbourne Storm. Welcome Parramatta. Really exciting team, like a really seriously exciting team on attacking front. I'm going to chuck them in 5th place. I don't think they're going to make the top 4, but I'm going to chuck them in 5th place. I do think there is actually quite a lot of people who are tipping them for those top 2 places. I just don't necessarily see them having that consistency, like that absolute utmost consistency that you need for that top 2 placing. But we all know that in week 2 of the finals they're choking somehow. I don't know if it's going to be another 32-0 loss, but I feel like week 2 of the finals is going to be another choke, because Parramatta have this ability to give you so much hope. A little bit of a liability in defence, but not terrible. A deadly attack. So a top 5 position is quite good. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? No, I don't want to do this. No, I damn well don't want to do this. But am I going to do this? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to damn well do this. The Eagles had a seriously brutal injury toll in 2019, and they still made it into the top 8, and they seriously contended in the end. They didn't end up winning it, but I believe that was seriously down to their injury toll. But they went really close. They went above expectation. And with a team that's relatively injury-free, I feel like this team's going to go a long way this season. They are seriously quality across the park. They're very underrated, and I feel like teams are going to really struggle to break them down defensively whilst being peppered in attack. I've got them in number 1 spot. Yep, I've got them in number 1 spot. The only thing that kind of makes me worry about about Manly is their hooker, Danny Levi. Obviously comes from Newcastle. He's a relative unknown. I just don't know what he's going to bring. He could be the difference between, you know, that first spot and the 5th, 6th spot. They're going to really achieve some great things this year. I really hope they don't, but what can you do? It is what it is. Have a great team, and you got to respect that. You got to respect that. This one's incredibly difficult, and I guarantee I'm going to get some eyebrow raises here, even my own. To be honest, even my own, because this team is a very confusing team going into this season. The Rabbits have an absolutely incredible backline. A little bit, maybe they don't have the absolute strength and defense in their backline, but they have an incredible backline. I am, however, a little bit on edge about their forwards, if not as dominant as it has been in previous seasons. Is the foundation going to be laid with the forwards to give the attacking opportunity to the Rabbits as much as they should do, as much as they really need and really deserve, because they do have the attacking ability. Obviously, Latrell Mitchell is now at the Rabbitohs and he is in the fullback position, and a lot of people are a little bit up in the air. Well, not a little bit, they are massively up in the air whether he's going to be a quality fullback. However, a lot of people, pretty much everyone, was massively up in the air when Greg Inglis made the switch to fullback, and I feel like Latrell is definitely another Greg Inglis style fullback. He's a big dude, he runs the line well. I think he has what it takes. I don't know defensively if his mindset is quality enough to be fullback. However, I believe he has what it takes to be fullback in the Greg Inglis style. I'm going to put them in 4th place. I was going to originally put them in 1st until I looked at their forwards, and I'm not too sure about their forwards. Like I said, this top 4 could easily be interchangeable with each other. Right now, I'm gonna go with a safe option. I'm going to go with a safe option of putting him in 4th place. The Cowboys are back, in my opinion. The Cowboys are back. I feel like they've really removed that thirst and stigma, and they're back and ready to have an absolute crack at it. So Valentine Holmes banging in at fullback, coming back from America. We all know how quality he was for Queensland and the Sharks. You got Michael Morgan, who we all know is a really quality player on his day. Obviously, he does have a lot of injuries, but we all know he's a quality player. Granville, very underrated. I feel like he'll be quality this year. He's been struggling the last couple of years, but I know that he has what it takes. Cowboys, woo, they won the nines. Their forward line is absolutely insane, son. The problem I see with the Cowboys is Green. I'm not a massive fan of his coaching style and his tactics. I don't believe he's worked Tamalolo's the best of his ability, and we all know Tamalolo is one of the best, if not the best forward in the game. I'm not too sure on Green. I really am not too sure on Green. For some reason, I just have this really odd feeling. I have an odd feeling about the Cowboys this year. Like, they've got a quality team, and I feel like they're going to make the top 8, which is a massive improvement for them. But there's an odd feeling on the Cowboys this year that I just can't wipe away. I can't get rid of it. I don't know what it is. I don't really know what they're truly going to bring. I don't know why, but there's just a really odd feeling surrounding the Cowboys. Last but not least, back-to-back champions, the Sydney Roosters. 2018 and 2019, they won the NRL Premiership, but they do lose Cooper Cronk. They lose a key critical player in Cooper Cronk. But when you have a sombrero the size of the damn harbour bridge, I'm telling you, you're not going to be too far off the pace. There's nothing really too wrong there, because I'm frustrated, alright? It's not a laughing matter. This team is just absolute quality. The team is just absolute quality. Like, what do you say badly about it? What can you say badly about this team? Like, what is there to actually prove that this team is going to regress this year? What is there to actually say that this team isn't going to go back to back to back? Like, shit, man. Shit. They're just so well run business wise. They're so well run business wise. And it frustrates me. So I've got them in 2nd place. I do have Manly in 1st, but there's literally nothing to say that this team won't come 1st and also win the Premiership. There's nothing that can 100% say that this team isn't going back to back to back. Anyway guys, so that is going to do us for today's video. If you'd like it, please hit a big thumbs up so know that you're enjoying this content. We've got a massive weekend ahead, We're going to be at 4 games. I'm not going to tell you which games because you should probably already know by now because you follow me on BKR YouTube and Instagram. If you haven't subscribed yet, you want to be here because we do game day experience vlogs. We go to the games and we support all the different teams and show off the atmosphere of these teams. It's NRL season, baby. It's NRL season. We've waited a long time, but guess what, baby? It is back. But that's going to do us for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.